So the Las Vegas Aces have lost basically their entire team. Almost their entire team is gone.
What if I told you that the Las Vegas Aces A'ja Wilson MVP is not only their best player, but also their main issue? Wilson's leaked interview is shocking the league by revealing the corruption at the heart of the winning squad, which is happening right in front of your eyes.
They've lost basically everyone. If we want to look at the Vegas Aces team from last year, who's still remaining? The MVP, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. That is it.
Wilson stated that it wasn't a championship locker room, but this is what has everyone talking, not just what she said, but what happened next. The mass exodus that followed is changing the WNBA's future. Want to know the full details of what Wilson said and how one interview shows how a dynasty collapsed? Are you ready to let go?
She got tired of Vegas. You know what? She wanted to get away from Becky Hammond and A'ja Wilson too, probably, dog. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's what it's looking like. A lot of these players is trying to get up out of her. Tiffany Hayes was the latest one yesterday. No, I believe somebody else left after her. Now, I think Alyssa Clark might be gone. But make no excuses about it, bruh. These women want to get away from Vegas.
Imagine this. The NBA's reigning MVP and two-time champion, A'ja Wilson, sits down for what should be a routine interview with a well-known journalist from the Las Vegas Journal. But what happens next is anything but. As the conversation starts, Wilson starts talking, and initially it's all smiles and memories of the championship. But then something changes in the room, and Wilson abruptly drops a truth bomb that has everyone's jaws on the floor.
Who are left with a shell of a roster right now. They have to fill out every other spot. They have a not top 5 roster in the W, and they have to fill out every other spot with minimum contract.
It wasn't a locker room for a championship. Wilson acknowledges that her voice is thick with the weight of what she says. As I entered training camp, I thought, we don't have it. Can you believe it? The main player of the seemingly unbeatable Las Vegas Aces squad recently acknowledged that they were doomed from the beginning.
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate because that's how I get the best out of my team.
However, that's not all. Wilson continues, revealing friction, egos, and a team that simply didn't click. This type of locker room drama would make reality TV blush, and this is where it gets really juicy. Wilson talks about how she told fellow stars Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray that the team needed more leadership both on and off the court. She even mentioned that she realized they didn't have a championship locker room before the season even began. Next season, talk about calling out your squad.
I don't want to be great for you guys. No offense. But I want to be great for my team. I want to be great for this franchise. It is hard as shit. It is hard as shit because there's tons of people that want to break you down. Great teams in this league that are going to try to come after you every single night. But when it comes to taking accountability, I have no problem in that because I want to be great. I want to be great for my teammates. So yes, it can start in practice. Yes, it starts in training camp. Yes, it starts in the wins and the losses. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to challenge myself and my teammates every single day. Because when you're talking about greatness, it starts with consistency.
I don't mean to offend you, but I want to be great for my team and for this franchise, and it's difficult because there are many people who want to bring you down. Great teams in this league will try to bring you down every night, but when it comes to accepting responsibility, I have no trouble with that because I want to be great for my teammates. So, yes, it can begin in practice. Yes, it begins in training camp. Yes, it begins in wins and losses. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep pushing myself and my teammates every day because greatness begins with consistency.
You might be saying, oh, like if you want to win, why would you ever leave the Aces? Because the Aces aren't that good. Simple as that. The amount of people that are saying, oh, the Aces are like this absolute super team still. Oh, they got Jewel Lloyd. Wow, they got somebody who shoots 26% from 3 and 36% from the field and is like not struggling and unrivaled. For every good game, she has 2 bad games. Like, it's as simple as that. For every good Jewel Lloyd game, she has 2 bad games at this stage in her career.
Wilson learned a valuable lesson about winning teams from his college coach, who taught him that a team of championship caliber should sound and feel a certain way. However, guess what? According to their self-proclaimed leader, the team failed this test miserably. It was like they were attempting to build a house of cards in a hurricane, and it was never going to stand.
It starts with me, and it's going to always be with me, because I have 11 other women in that locker room that I need to pull greatness out of. So that's where it goes from. If it's talking more, is it trying to fly on the court, is it being a defensive presence? I'm going to be that every single day for my team, because I want them to be great. Not just for rings and banners, because I know the potential that we have in our locker room. So.
Wilson's frustration is evident throughout the interview as she describes trying to fix things game after game without success. She says, "I always told myself every game we're going to get there. We're going to check each box, but we didn't," admitting that it's like watching a car crash in slow motion, knowing it's going to end badly, but finding it impossible to turn away.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that, because I really like that group. They're a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
Speaking of auto accidents, let's also discuss the defeat to the New York Liberty in the semifinals. Wilson discusses the team's performance, stating that you're always thinking about how to improve and what more you can do to support your team. However, it appears that all of that thinking didn't translate into action because the key players combined for a pitiful 28 points in that pivotal game. Talk about failing to deliver when it counts most, but there's more. According to Wilson's infinite wisdom, problems in the locker room will be resolved when we sense them. "Oh, really, Asia?" she says, "because from where we're sitting, it looks like those issues grew into a full-blown forest while you were busy feeling them."
Well, I mean, Becky Hammond, you were right. Congratulations, but did you really think it would be this different?
Wilson attempts to lessen the impact of her frank candor as the conversation comes to an end. Her voice is full of emotion as she says, "I love my teammates so much, but let's face it, given what she's just disclosed, those words ring as hollow as the AC trophy case is about to be. The interview is over, but the harm has been done." Wilson's confession, which explains everything that followed, lingers in the air. Everything stems from these revelations that depict the Aces locker room during the entire previous season, including the players' exodus, the fall of a dynasty, and the decline of the powerful Aces.
Guys, the Las Vegas Aces are looking a whole lot lighter after some of these trades and free agency signings that have happened. And guys, it's leaving the bench to look a little sparse.
The Aces roster after the league's envy is disintegrating more quickly than a sandcastle being it began with Kate Martin, a fan favorite and a promising young player, who was left unprotected in the expansion draft by the Aces. Before you can say lottery, the Golden State Valkyrie grab her up. This was a huge loss for the Aces, and fans were left scratching their heads. One by one, key players are packing their bags and leaving, but why is this a coincidence? Or is there more to this story? But that was only the beginning. Next up is Tiffany Hayes, the 6th player of the year. You would think that receiving an award like that would make you want to stay, but that's not the case. Kelsey Plum, the sharpshooter, lit up the scoreboard last season with an impressive 16 points per game. She traded in her Aces jersey for Sparks purple and gold in a deal that had fans questioning the Aces' decision-making. In exchange, they got Jewel Lloyd, but let's face it, Lloyd is older and less effective. The upstart Valkyries, who averaged 9.5 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game last season, numbers the Aces will miss and will undoubtedly increase in San Francisco, looked better than another season in Vegas, according to Hayes. Hold on, there's more. Alicia Clark, a key member of the Aces, chose to rejoin the Seattle Storm, with whom she had won 2 titles. It seems as though she saw the Aces and decided she would prefer to rejoin her former team.
Me and Kate and me, we're as great as we can be. Me and Kate and me, we're as great as we can.
Additionally, Sydney Kusun, Wilson's best friend, is also worth mentioning. You would think that friendship would keep her around, but no. The AC's roster was further reduced when Coulson packed her bags and joined the Indiana Fever, causing them to discuss a split with a friend.
Let's start with Alicia Clark. According to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, the Aces wanted to bring back Alicia Clark. But when Seattle came a-knocking, Alicia was like, you know what? I would love to go back to my WNBA home, which is Seattle. Now, guys, if y'all don't know, Alicia Clark won 2 titles with the Seattle Storm in 2018 and 2020. And now at 37 years old, she is looking to bring her 3-and-D game back to Seattle.
The truth is that almost half of the Aces' scoring output is leaving. It's like witnessing a magic trick, except instead of pulling rabbits out of a hat, the Aces are making their star players vanish. As each player departs, you can practically hear Wilson's remarks from that interview reverberating in the background when he was questioned about Kelsey Plum's departure. Wilson added, "Looking back, it's beginning to sound more like a eulogy for the entire team. She was always someone who spoke her mind in the locker room. You need that honesty in the locker room. We will surely miss her."
Now, yesterday, the Indiana Fever let it be known that Sid pretty much is officially signed, man. She officially signed. She spoke with reporters, let everybody know why she has decided to join the Indiana Fever.
The truth is that almost half of the Aces' scoring output is leaving. It's like witnessing a magic trick, except instead of pulling rabbits out of a hat, the Aces are making their star players vanish. As each player departs, you can practically hear Wilson's remarks from that interview reverberating in the background when he was questioned about Kelsey Plum's departure. Wilson added, "Looking back, it's beginning to sound more like a eulogy for the entire team. She was always someone who spoke her mind in the locker room. You need that honesty in the locker room. We will surely miss her."
What is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for.
So, for all Aces fans, it's over. It's over. It's over. The reign of the Aces is over. I understand the shortest dynasty in the history of the sport of basketball. You know, I've never heard of a dynasty that won 2 championships and then was done, because you're seeing all the ring-chasing free agents getting out of Vegas.
When you thought the WNBA couldn't get any more dramatic, the Indiana Fever arrived. This Midwestern team is stacking their deck while the Aces are losing their aces, but the real question is it possible to create a championship squad in a single offseason?
There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
It's like watching a phoenix rise from the ashes, and I can assure you that it's an amazing sight to witness as the Indiana Fever suddenly hurl some of their own punches at the league's punching bag. As club president, Kelly Koff is creating more than simply a team. She is creating a legacy. Koff is the mastermind behind the Fever's 20-2 championship run and is returning to do it again, talking about a homecoming. But wait, the Fever didn't stop there. They also hired Amber Cox as general manager, and let me tell you, this move is pure genius. Koff knows how to spot talent, nurture it, and turn it into gold. Looking back, hiring Cox was a brilliant move since she is a WNBA insider with a keen eye for talent. She oversaw several of the new personnel from Fever and was the general manager of the Phoenix Mercury in the Dallas Wings.
The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
Hold on to your seats because the Fever's next move is truly revolutionary. They persuaded Stephanie White to return as head coach, which is similar to reuniting the band, except this time, each member has had years to hone their solos. White is familiar with this squad, this city, and how to win. It's a match made in basketball heaven, having served as assistant coach for the only championship team in Fever history and guided the team back to the finals as head coach. However, the Fever wasn't finished yet. Oh no, they were just getting started. They went on a free agency shopping spree that would make even the most ostentatious shopaholic blush. Natasha Howard. Look at Dananna Bonner. You can bet Sophie Cunningham is Sydney Cousin, so why not? It seems like they are collecting all-stars in the same way that children gather trading cards.
Are you in a position where you can add some pieces?
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position. And I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her.
Additionally, the Fever managed to keep its Indigenous star Kelsey Mitchell where she belongs, which is how you foster loyalty, even when other teams are witnessing their stars leave ship faster than the Titanic. Mitchell isn't merely staying, she's flourishing. With Caitlin Clark, she averaged a career-high 19.2 points per game with career-high efficiency last season. The possibilities are endless with Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and this new team, but this is where things start to get really interesting. Instead of just bringing in talent, the Fever is creating a supportive, upbeat culture where players can develop and encourage one another to be their best. This is completely different from what we're witnessing with the Aces. No ego trips or drama, just plain old teamwork and resolve. Recall how Caitlin Clark planned a welcoming party for Kelsey Mitchell upon her contract signing. And let's take a moment to discuss that resolve. The Fever squad is hungry. They've experienced the bottom of the league and are ready for a fine meal at the top. These players have fire in their eyes and chips on their shoulders. They're not just here to compete. They're here to dominate. But can they really go from worst to first? If anyone can make a team that was the WNBA's laughingstock into a contender overnight, it's this squad. They have the drive, the talent, and the leadership. All they need is a chance to prove themselves on the court.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
Not to mention the supporters. The people of Indiana have been waiting for this moment. They have supported their team through good times and bad, and now they are eager to witness the results of their devotion. While the Aces are dealing with their internal drama and watching their dynasty fall apart, the Fever are demonstrating to everyone how it's done that you can turn a franchise around faster than you can say basketball with smart management, a positive team culture, and a little bit of Who's Your Magic. Fieldhouse is going to be electric this season. You can almost feel the anticipation building.
I am ready to proclaim the Indiana Fever as your WNBA champs.
As the dust falls on the erupting dynasty of the Ace Asia, Wilson's leaked interview serves as a sobering reminder that even the strongest can falter. But in the WNBA, as one star fades, another emerges, and at the moment, everyone's eyes are on Caitlin Clark of Indiana. The WNBA's Golden Girl returns to the court. Igniting the excitement in Gainbridge, this isn't just a new season, it's a whole new era, and Fieldhouse is electrifying. The supporters who have supported their team through thick and thin are giddy with anticipation, but this is where things start to get truly interesting as Vegas collapses under the weight of its own hubris. Are you prepared to witness what happens when a team rises from the ashes driven by the fire of redemption? That's precisely what we're going to witness in Indiana. Tell us in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment. Indiana is creating something special. It's not just about star power, it's about heart hustle and hunger. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.